Welcome, this is Rose Marshall with Inner Harmony with EFT. Today I'm going to give you the basic foundation for EFT. EFT stands for the Emotional Freedom Technique, developed by Gary Craig. The philosophy of this is that all negative emotions are caused by a disruption in the body's energy system. And to help us heal that and release those emotions, usually permanently and frequently, immediately, we use a tapping process. And a lot of people know EFT as tapping. So we're going to be tapping instead of putting needles into these very important meridian junctures where there are important acupuncture points. So to teach you this whole thing, I'm first going to show you all the points, and then we're going to go over the whole process of EFT, which includes a setup and a sequence. So first the points are, I just showed you a few, but the very first point you usually tap is called the karate chop. And so you use your hands, all fingers are 3, and you tap where you would hit a board, like a karate chop. That's why it's called karate chop. And usually your dominant hand would tap on the other hand. It doesn't really matter. And some people even go like this. So it's up to you what you're comfortable with. So this is called the karate chop. And then the points that we'll tap in the sequence are the top of the head, the crown, your middle eye, right at the tip of your eye, right there at the bridge of your nose, side eye, right at the temple where your eyebrow comes down, and under the eye, right on the little bone, right in the middle eye. And we usually use 2 fingers to do this tapping. If you feel comfortable with 3, you can. And under the nose, point right there. Chin point, right in the dimple in your chin, right there. And collarbone. Collarbone is the trickiest point. It's just you feel your collarbone, and right in the center there, and you just use all your fingers and tap. And some people like to tap like this, so it's up to you. And the next point, I forgot to tell you, EFT can look silly sometimes, but you go under your arm, you put your hand there, the whole 4 inches, and you tap right underneath that. And some people tap like this, and we look like a monkey. It's whatever you're comfortable with. So one thing about tapping, you should know also that you can tap on the right, and then you can tap on the left. It doesn't matter. And some people use both hands to tap. There's no rules about that. So now we're going to go into the whole process of EFT, which has 3 main parts. So first is called the setup. And before you can do the setup, though, you have 2 parts. You have to identify an issue. So today, for the sake of training, we're going to use sadness. So we're going to pretend that I'm really sad that my best friend is moving all the way to China. And I'm very sad. She's my best friend, and I can't deal with that they're going away. We've been buddies for 20 years. So I've identified the issue. I'm just sad. I can't seem to get over it. And the next step you do, that's the first thing. The second thing you want to do is measure on 0 to 10 where you are. 0 is like, I've dealt with my sadness and I can think about it. I'm not sad at all anymore. But 10 would be like, I'm still really sad. I cry once in a while. So we're going to measure 0 to 10 where you are. And so I'm going to say 8 for this recording. So we're going to say I have an 8 sadness about that. And I'm feeling really sad that she's moving away. So those are the first 2 things you have to do. And then we're going to go into the tapping process. So the first part of tapping is setup. So this is the setup. We're going to use that karate chop point that we were talking about. So we're going to just tap very gently. You tap 7 to 10 times. I may be tapping it a little longer because I'm just teaching. So we're going to say, even though I have this sadness, I love and accept myself. Even though I have this sadness, I totally and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this sadness, I totally and completely love and accept myself. That's called the setup. And we go to the top of our head now and we tap on the crown. This sadness, so we just take a small part of that long phrase. This sadness. We go down to our middle eye. This sadness. Side eye. This sadness. Under the eye. This sadness. Under the nose. This sadness. Under the chin. This sadness. Collarbone. This sadness. And under the arm. This sadness. And then we end on the top of the head. So now we're going to take a deep breath and blow it out. And this is when we're going to look within and just become conscious of what's happening in our body, where we are with the sadness, and feel how we are. And then we're going to look if it's still an 8 or if it's shifted down at all. So usually there will be some sort of shift down. And so you just notice where it is. It's important to kind of notice that for yourself. And then we're going to tap again, because the goal is to get it down to a 0. So we're going to start again with the setup point. So even though I still have some sadness, I love and accept myself. Even though I still have some sadness, I totally and completely love and accept myself. Even though I still have some sadness, I totally and completely love and accept myself. So we're going to go again the same sequence. Top of the head, the sadness. Middle eye, the sadness. Side eye, the sadness. Under the eye, the sadness. Under the nose, the sadness. On the chin point, this sadness. And collarbone, this sadness. And under the arm, this sadness. And now top of the head, this sadness. Again, we're going to take a breath in and blow it out. And we're going to check in again. And I like to call this a Sherlock Holmes check-in, because like we're just really looking inquisitively to see what has happened with this emotion or this limiting belief or this physical pain, whatever it is we're working on. Right now we're looking at sadness. So we're going to check in and see it's going down to a 2. So we're going to go again. And people are frequently surprised at how fast it works, but it really does work that fast usually. So we're going to go again, right there to our karate chop point with our 3 affirmative phrases. Even though I still have some sadness, I love and accept myself. Even though there's still a little sadness remaining, I totally and completely love and accept myself. Even though I still feel some sadness, I totally and completely love and accept myself. So we're going to go to the top of the head, and this time we're going to use remaining sadness. Remaining sadness, middle eye. Side eye, remaining sadness. Under the eye, remaining sadness. Under the nose, remaining sadness. Under the chin, remaining sadness. Now we go to our collarbone, remaining sadness. And under the arm, remaining sadness. Now we're going to go in at the top of the head again, remaining sadness. Now I'm going to take a deep breath in and blow it out and see where we're at again. Do our Sherlock Holmes moment. And we're going to notice I'm really not sad. I'm glad she's going to China because she's wanted to go to China all her life. I'm actually all of a sudden happy for her. And usually that is how fast, quick, and quickly EFT works. Now there's a few things, that's the end of a session, and there's a few things I want to remind you about EFT. So if, for sadness, if the next day I might have a little more energy come up and it might feel like sadness, but it can be related to sadness, and it might be a fear. I'm afraid I won't find a new friend. It's not really related to that, but it's connected. So it's not like EFT didn't work for the sadness. It's like we're all diamonds in the rough, and we polished off one little aspect of our blocks around the sadness of our friend living, and there's other things there that you can tap on. So it's important to know that there are different layers of EFT, and that's why it's good to tap daily on anything that seems to be coming up for you, so that you can really clear out all the subconscious blocks that we all have. So that's the basic introduction to the foundational EFT, and there's a lot more to it that you can add as you learn more about it to make it a little more fun. And that would be for another video or another time. So if you would like to learn more about EFT, you can check me out at EFTinnerharmony.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope this has helped, and have a blessed day.